Okay, now we set up a project folder. We want to work with the rest of our rest of our interface and make it a little bit more convenient to work with. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is we're going to look at the viewports. Now, this should be probably close to what Max defaults to at the setup. These 4 viewports, and if you look up here, you're going to see it's going to show you your shade mode. It's going to show you what view you're currently in, and it has this for every one of the windows. So this window is stuck on the front view, so it's a front camera. This is a perspective 3D camera. This is a left camera. And if you want to change them, you're going to simply right-click, and then you can scroll down. You also see the shortcut listed here if you'd rather use those. And let's say I wanted a camera on the left. I click left, and all of a sudden becomes my left camera. All right. Now, the 4 viewports are great because it allows you to view in 3 dimensions from many different angles. It's not always the most convenient to be working in a small window like this. So what if I wanted to work on one window, let's say just a perspective view. I can click in any window and only work in window at one time, but when I click in it, you see this gold ring that shows which window selected and which one I'm editing in. So let's say I want to work in just a perspective view. I click on a perspective window. You'll see this gold band highlight my window, so I know it's the active viewport. And I can click this button here, this maximize viewport toggle. Okay? And that allows me to zoom into only that window. And this is great. This is where I do most of my work. If I'm not doing something that's very exact, I need to keep tabs on. I'm not worried about destroying the back of something. I'll work in here. It makes it almost full screen, and it's just the most convenient to work with. And then you can simply hit that button again to go back to your 4 viewports. Now, the 4 viewports, like I said, are great, but what if we want to have a slightly different layout? What if we want to make, these smaller windows over here? Well, we can right-click on the plus, click on Configure Viewports, and then you're going to see these tabs here. We're going to go to Layout. And in the Layout window, you're going to see these various window layouts that you can use. I'm actually kind of partial to this one. It allows me 1 large screen to work in and 3 small screens to reference as I work. I'll work in this one quite a bit too. Then I'm going to click OK. And you're going to see that all my screens default to that layout. It has 3 little auxiliary windows here and 1 big one for me to work in. And the same goes for this. I can click on the left view, maximize the viewport, minimize the viewport, and it defaults back to this working space. And let's say I want these to be a little bit more square. I can simply drag these and move these. You could have done this on the 4 viewport layout as well. Yeah, you can click and drag, make them taller, shorter, smaller, whatever the case may be. So it's very useful, and you'll learn your best method. This is the way I like to work. And you're going to see the grid that we're working with here. What we're going to do, the grid can get a little bit irritating to work around. It's in your view a lot. You can hit G to turn it off and G to turn it on. The grid is really good in 3D space to pull measurements from. You can set this up to be any measurements you want, and you're going to do that simply by right-click on the snaps toggle and navigate to the Home Grid tab here. Now I can set the grid up to be as big or as small as I want. So I can, make the spacing at 1 foot, and you just saw it change. So now each one of these grid lines is 1 foot. Very convenient. We can snap to the grid. I'll show you all that kind of stuff later.